aftermarket cooler, as you can see. So that's gonna go in facing the I/O shield, which is this way. And you want to make sure that it doesn't really scrape anything, even though it is okay if it scrapes. It's not going to destroy the whole board, because boards are very, like, surprisingly good. And by that I mean it's really good to, it's not good to do it, but pretty much they can withstand a lot of wear and tear on the board. If you drop the board, the motherboard is going to be probably okay, but probably not, because it's really not good to drop a board. But it's not going to be the whole end of the world, even though they are pretty sensitive. The back side of them, which is really what I mean can withstand a lot, is very durable. Alright, so since I put in the bronze things to keep the board off the case, you're going to start screwing in screws, which I actually have some screws. This is the wrong screw. Most of the screws look like this. They look like that. See that screw right there? Look like that. They're pretty small. You're going to start putting them in each hole. And personally, you should fill up each hole. Don't try to cheat yourself, because if the board moves, it's not going to be good if the whole board's moving when your computer's on. See, I missed one of the holes, so it's not going to end the whole world. It's not going to be the end of the world. I have to put in a different aftermarket cooler anyway, so I'll fix that when I rebuild it. I'm going to be doing some different videos on how to do water cooling, and yeah. So, and I'll do a video on how to install aftermarket coolers as well. And when you screw in the board, make sure the screw's going tight, but not like the tightest you could ever go. Because one time I bought a board and it was so tight that I couldn't even move it. It's horrible. Don't do that, alright? Because custom computers are meant to be upgradable, not to be like, oh, it's going to be here forever. Like my personal computer, I built it many times over and over. You shouldn't really even tighten it like to the point where the board's gonna bore you. If you tighten it too much, it'll harm the board pretty much. It's not good for the board. All right, let me push this in over. Let me see. And for the cable management, I'm gonna be time lapsing that when I get to that part, just so you know. All right. Here's the last few screws. Oh, and also with the cases, make sure you get the right case for the right board. If you get a mini ITX case, get a mini ATX board, because it's meant for that. Nothing else. Unless if it says so. Also, since I just time-lapse that, we'll actually skip to the screws. I wanted to add in that make sure all these holes and stuff are lined up, because it might not add up sometimes, so you want to make sure they're all lined up. Each one of these, you want to like push your finger, see if some of them aren't like in, then you have to fix it. It's not that hard, you can just push them into place. It's not going to really hurt the board at all. Okay guys, back. I put in the board, I put in all the screws. It took about like 3 minutes, because I didn't want to bore you. Okay, now that the motherboard's in, I'm going to be flipping over the case. I'll show this side. And what you're going to want to do is feed this over here to where the motherboard's power would be. And I noticed this. I'm going to need to take out a little piece of the board, because I need to feed the, let's see if I can do that right now. Feed the motherboard CPU power in. Yeah, I'm going to have to take that off. Sorry if you guys messed up on that part. But hopefully you watched the video before even starting this. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to be flipping over the board again. The CPU case, my fault. And I'm going to be plugging this in. And I'm going to be showing a little bit of cable management when the board is in. I'm going to time lapse it. And okay, so I'm gonna start plugging everything in. I'm gonna time lapse this part.
So now we're okay. I just bring it. Yeah, it's gonna time lapse now.
Oh, Zayton. Oh, your face is showing. You put on a hat. Oh, a beanie. Let me get the screw.
You just blur out the face. Alright, I know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to take out the whole damn motherboard. So pause it, just pause it. Stop that, let me get that. Okay. So yeah, today's a creepy day, guys. Yeah. I want to make the mumbo jumbo in the back. You know how when the time lapse? Mother trucker.
Yeah, we could probably go to the store at like 5:30.
Here, you can pause. I have to screw all this green stuff in. Okay, guys. For this part, I'm stopping the time lapse to just say, to cable manage things, right? I strongly encourage that you do buy some zip ties. They're $2 for like 50 4-inch tie. No, 40 actually. 40 4-inch ties, high quality from Home Depot. It's really good to have these on standby because if you want your computer to look nice, because this build I'm building it for somebody. It has a clear back, so I'm gonna need to make it like as best looking as I physically can, and it will look good because I put pride in my work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was just a heads up. Okay, guys. For this part, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to all the cables that are gonna come with the power supply unit and how to properly use them. Which, if you're watching this video, you've probably already done some research. Hopefully, I know what all the parts are. I'm not going from the first step to where to put in the CPU and stuff. I'm just giving the basics. Okay, so here's the last part of the motherboard's power. Okay, there we go. Click. There we go. Okay, now for this side, what you're gonna need to do is don't like mess with these yet, or you can if you want to plug them in at first. It's fine. You're gonna need to connect this type 4 connector to connect either your ROM drive, your CD drive, CD burner, and your hard drive or SSD drive if you have that. So you're gonna have to. It should say on the motherboard the 6 plus 4 CPU, and pretty much everything. So and it should be obvious because it's a 6-pin connector. So it should be pretty obvious where it goes on the power supply unit. Alright, I'm gonna be adding this in, and I'm gonna put one more cord in before I go back into another time lapse. Okay. So now that this one's in, we're gonna be adding the connector for the graphics card right there. We're gonna be putting in the 6-pin, no, the 6 plus 2 pin. This one comes with 2 for bigger graphics cards if you want to ever upgrade. It comes with an extra 2 pin, an extra 6 plus 2 pin, my fault, and it's a 7 pin, but it counts as 8, and it'll go in your 6 plus 2 pin PCIe slot on your power supply unit. And when I plug this in, I'm gonna go back into my time lapse. Okay, so I'll see you guys soon. true. Okay, I'm gonna go out of this time lapse to show you where the CPU fan goes in. I'm gonna move this. It's gonna go right there. If you can, let me move the camera. It's gonna go right where it says either CPU fan 1 or CPU fan 2. And I'm gonna be showing you how to do these other, like the HDD, the LED fans on the bottom of the board, right after I put these in. I'm gonna go in another time lapse. So I'm gonna pause it right now and I'll be right back. Okay, guys.
I'm gonna be going out of this time lapse, and I'm gonna be showing you where all the plugs go from the case. Cause this case, it has LEDs and stuff, color changeable LEDs, so you can make it one of 7 colors. It's a DIY PC case. All right, let me get a good overview here. Alright, so I'm gonna be, alright, firstly, I have the USB plug. You'll see where the USB 6, it'll say a whole bunch of different USB things. It really doesn't matter where it goes. It does not matter where it goes. If anything, you can match up, if you see this missing spot right here, it'll match up with where these go. Where these go right here. Match up. There we go. Plug that in. And then I'll be showing you guys how to plug in the HDD things. This thing seems to not be wanting to go in for some reason. I don't know why. I just need to. There we go. And now in reality, you want these to be really nice and neat. To be like semi-perfect with how this motherboard looks. I'm gonna be cable managing these right now as well. So I'm gonna pause the video right here. And okay, I'm back. Now that I've put the cord in the back, which I totally forgot to do before, I'm gonna have to take off one more snip right here to fix this up. Alright, this snip needs to go. And I'm going to be moving this cord somewhere else. I'm going to have to take off all of these slips actually, because everything has to line up because there's tempered glass and I don't want the glass to be pushing up against anything. These are just classic mistakes. So you live and learn. Alright, so now that I have this cord out, I'm going to be moving it to the side. I'm going to move this over here. And I'm going to move it over here to this side where I can cable manage it properly along with these other wires. And actually with these zip ties, most cases, or some cases come with it. This one came with a few zip ties. Definitely not enough for what is needed, but at least they thought about it for cable management. So I'm gonna be putting this last one right here. And I'll be good to go. These things are sometimes a little bit difficult to put in. You could bend them, the tips of them, as you can see. You can bend the tips like this. And you can put them in to these little notches like this one. So I'm going to be putting this one in. Here, I'm going to do it like this. Here, I'm gonna need to get some body set over here. Okay. I need that to pop in so it doesn't really matter. Alright, there, I think I heard it. I obviously didn't. Here, instead of this, I'm gonna be using this little tie thing that comes on bread sometimes. I recommend getting one that matches your case, just for the looks in reality. So I'm gonna be putting it through here and through the little hoop. I'll be tying it off and cutting it to make it look better. And now I'm gonna be putting the power through here again. And I'll be connecting that when I'm done feeding these through the little holes, which I guess I can connect it now because I need to see what's going on. Okay, so this is going to be going over here. And you're going to hear it a little like snap. It's okay. Also, when you're first building your computer, it's going to be pretty normal to hear weird noises and stuff because they're brand new parts. The RAM in this one, these two ones were from my old computer, but they work perfect. I just wanted to upgrade it. But if you hear like, oh, parts, don't freak out. Just keep calm and live your life. It's probably not gonna be the end of your whole PC build. Okay, now for this, I'm gonna have to flip this over and feed some of these parts through. Alright, this one goes through this hole. All these parts go through this hole. And I'm going to have to be connecting one more cord to the motherboard. Okay. And now when you connect these, don't think of it like, oh, if I put one in the wrong spot, it's going to screw up everything, alright? These little cords right here. All they're meant to do is short out, but personally, I do put them in the right place. And I'm going to get the schematic for it, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I just zip tied the power to the HDD drive, the hard drive pretty much. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to do for that. And for this case, personally, you need to zip tie everything down just to make it look nice and just so it's not all ugly and disgusting. Which is to make it look nice. Power goes in here, and I'm going to be hiding away all these wires. because nobody really wants to see these when they're looking at the back of your PC. Which I need to fix this battery right now. So like that, a little bit flat. Okay, now for this cord, it's going to be going through here for the graphics card. This is going to have to lay flat on the motherboard as well.
Oh,
What just happened?
unable to use flash.
This is going to be going on the motherboard as well. And yes, sometimes your cables will start looking like a mess. A little. Mine's are okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna be flipping this over. I'm gonna test the PC when I put in the graphics card. I have to screw it in and everything. Should be working fine. See how everything goes in. And yeah, so I'm gonna see where I'm gonna put this. Oh, great. There's a thing in the way. So I'm gonna move that. There's a nice screwdriver right here. Okay, so I'm gonna be moving this. I don't even know what it's for. Probably mount for something. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Actually, that might be useful. Let me see how it can go in. No, that's of no use to me. I thought it was meant to hold up the graphics card, but it wasn't. This thing right here, okay. So last screw, take that out. I'll probably be moving it over so it doesn't look so empty in here, which it's really not empty at all. Okay. So now that this is out, I can put in the graphics card, which is gonna go in right here. You're gonna have to measure that up when you take out these little things. These little things here, you're gonna have to move them up and down, and they'll eventually fall out, just like any type of aluminum thing. It'll use friction, it'll break off. And for this 970, which was very good, I was personally about to go with the 1060, but then I remembered that like the 970 is better. It costs just about the same price, and this one actually costs more, but I got it for a better deal. But it still costs more than the 1060. So I'm gonna be moving this back. Because this is the Asus GTX 970 Strix Edition, meaning it's going to be very silent, and it's not going to use up extra energy that's not needed for it. Alright, I'm going to be screwing it in now. Okay. And make sure to use both screws, and always use a screw, no matter what. I don't like. Like I've heard stories of people not screwing in their GPU, and the whole motherboard PCIe slot breaks, and you're screwed in, unless if you have multiple PCIe slots, which you probably do, but it's better to not break it. Cause I finished the computer, and this is what it looks like. All you had to do is plug in the power button in the background, and all you had to do is press this one LED button, which it changes this color, the front. I personally like the purple because it lights up a lot brighter than the rest of the colors, and it lights up some inside, and it's really nice all in all. So yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe to my videos so I can make more of this, and hopefully my channel will get bigger. And don't forget to leave a like and comment. So thanks, and peace out.